What's going on YouTube? Just doing another quick video here on something I'm doing to the Vic. It's preventative maintenance or maintenance of some sort, no matter how you look at it, unless you're okay with your car leaking a little oil. So basically what we're doing today is the oil intercooler line. And I strongly suggest that if you have an oil change coming up and you're thinking about doing this, just wait till your oil change, because you're going to lose a good bit of your oil. So basically start your oil change how you normally would. You're going to drain your oil pan, which is always back there. On mine it's a 17 millimeter, if that helps anybody. Then come up and remove your oil filter. And once you get your oil filter removed, I always like to go through and wipe everything off, and then I'll take a bead of new oil and go around everything and so forth. Next is your oil intercooler line, which will run from here above the sway bar and over to here. Let me see if I can get my flashlight on. It'll run over to here. So basically, this will be your oil intercooler line. One side will be the furthest away from the motor, which generally will be the one with the hole in the center. And then your second one is a hole in the top, which, if you're doing it, do it from the top. Do it from the front part. You're going to want to take the front part off first, and then you'll be able to just let that hang down. With mine, I pulled the front part off, had the oil pan here, and pulled it through the sway bar and the cooler, and just let it hang down like in an L or an upside down 7, and just let some of the residual oil drain out, which it's been off for like 5 minutes and I'm still dripping a little bit. So, but basically, you will have, I grab them here, 2 bolts that hold that in. The one on the sway bar side of the oil intercooler will be located directly in the center. Best way to get to that, I always use millimeters. It's just an easier system for me, but it'll be an 8 millimeter for these 2 bolts. So you want to do the center one first, and I broke it loose with a deep well, and then I added an extension just to be able to get back in between the hoses more, so I had more play and could actually keep the wrench straight onto the bolt. The second one isn't too bad. It's actually located on top of the 2 oil intercoolers, so that one isn't bad. Just keep the extension on, you'll be able to get to that pretty quick. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hook up the new ones, which, with this being a P71, you have a couple different options. You can go the standard oil cooler lines. I preferably, with this being a police interceptor, I'm going heavy duty. That's what the factory ones were. I'm just going to stay heavy duty. It's an OEM replacement. I got it on eBay. It wasn't too bad. It was like $40, free shipping. Yeah, I mean, the package is packaged really well. They got the caps on the ends. They did not send any hardware, but in all honesty, if you take it slow, you shouldn't really break any of your hardware coming out. So I will pause this and get this new oil cooler line up and into place, and then I will pick it back up from there. Alright, I'll pick it back up here. I got the one side all in, And honestly, they go together pretty easy. It's essentially like an air chuck for a hose. This will actually just snap in, and then your bracket, oh, let's see if I can get that back down out of there. Your bracket will actually just flip around then. Once you get both in, it'll just flip around just like that, and it flips back. So you can see it's basically, and then this will just pull it in. But a common thing with those is your seals will go bad. On my other ones, my seals are pretty shot, so that'll cause them to leak. Not substantially, but enough to get some oil back through on the inner tie rod and stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't leaving puddles or anything of that nature, but might as well get it before it turns into a huge issue. So I'm actually going to get this side back on. One thing I did with putting that bolt back in was just took some oil from the oil change and wiped it on the threads, and then just put it back in. That bolt will get hot, but it'll just keep any issues from happening down the road as well. Kind of do it. It just makes it a little easier on you if you'd have to pull it back off for any reason. If there'd be like a manufacturer malfunction in the O-rings on this one for some reason, you'd have to send it back. But it'll just make removal of that bolt a little easier. So I will pause this again and get this side connected in and the oil filter on. Alright, so we're all plugged back in, bolted back in, and that is what you should be looking like when you are all squared away. Sorry, my camera was a little fuzzy there. I do have some oil there on that bolt, but that's literally from the oil filter draining. So alright, well, if you have any questions, shoot me a comment. I'll be glad to help you. Always post videos of little things to do here and there. Honestly, if your car has over 200,000 miles on while you're down here, honestly, it would be smart to just replace your oil pressure sender too, because you already have to take off your oil filter to get to it. It'll make it a lot easier. I did mine with it on. It'll just make your life a lot easier to actually get to it and get it tightened back to where it's supposed to be. It's all preventative maintenance. If you're looking at 200,000 miles, especially on a police interceptor or retired police car, these cars generally weren't treated like Cadillacs, so it's best to replace things as you see them. For instance, when I was under here, I noticed that the bushings on my inner tie rod and my outer tie rod on both sides are getting bad, as well as the rust. So they're pretty inexpensive. A lot of the parts for Crown Vics are pretty inexpensive because of them being a fleet model car. So what I'll end up doing is I'll just end up replacing them then as well. I think I saw them on eBay for Moog brand is like maybe 39 bucks, so it'd be dumb not to do it. So another video I'll be posting here soon is the wife and I went to a salvage yard and yanked a sway bar off of another police interceptor. So I have new sway bar links. I'm going to replace them too while I'm at it. I just replaced it maybe a year ago. But the new sway bar I got, I decided to paint it red. I did replace the bushings maybe like 3 months ago, so I'm going to pull this sway bar down, for some reason, I think with the positioning of it, I think it's putting a lot of stress on my link on this side. For some reason, the other side isn't positioned the same, so I don't know maybe if this got bent or not somewhere down the road from the previous owner or whatever. So that'll be another thing that I'll be doing a video on. So sway bar's not too bad, so should be a fun video. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. I normally get back to people pretty quick. So, and if you got a Vic and you're always looking to do anything to it or anything to set it aside, I'm in the same boat as you, so maybe we can bounce things off one another. So subscribe, like, and just keep following. I'm gonna keep posting tips, tricks, mods, and just overall maintenance on the Vics. So thanks for watching.